Welcome back, it's Let's Play Bloodborne for Katie. And we are back down here at the little system of alleys and streets at the bottom of that tower that we fell down a couple times last episode. Also got some truly disgusting clothing we could wear if we want to have a bad time. And in this episode, we are just going to explore Cathedral Ward thoroughly, in all its thoroughness. Do a little bit of side stuff, meet some NPCs, see if there's any friendly faces around here in this neighborhood. Get revenge on this guy who killed me before I planned on having him kill me. This wasn't even the guy I wanted to have kill me to take me to Yahar'gul. There's a guy... The guy who killed me the first time I played this game. There's a guy, right next to Odin Chapel. Right by that big set of stairs that leads up to a locked gate. He just hangs out in the corner where I think there was a carrion crow before. And... you know... You never forget your first. And so I planned to have him kill me and take me off to the Hypogean jail after I'd already done all the stuff you're seeing in this video. But the best laid plans of... Wow, look at that gravity. Look at the cloth physics on the Charred Hunter set. Damn. Best laid plans of mice and men, as the book says, ain't worth dick when it comes to Yarnum, baby. Exactly what Steinbeck wrote, and you know what? I agree with him. I don't care what anybody says. End my life if you must. What do we have here? Hey, are you friendly? Ugh. Buddy, you got a little bit of schmutz all around your mouth. Hey man, your blood is white. I think that's some kind of anemia? Whoa. Man, the Travago guy did not tell me there were, like... Cthulhu hobo wizards in this city. You know, the werewolves are one thing, but this is fucking unacceptable. Anyway. That's about it for these little alleys down here. They're inaccessible unless you drop down that tower, which is odd. There's this elevator, too, back up to the main part of Cathedral Ward, but since you have to drop off here, you actually can't go back there. So... weird. Who designed this city? But, conveniently enough, going down there and taking that elevator up does get us to the other side of Cathedral Ward that has been locked off from us by a couple of gates. We get to permanently open those gates now. So, the way this part of the game is structured is really interesting, I think, in that we've had 3 bosses up to this point. Father Gascoigne is 100% required. He is how you get to the Cathedral Ward in the first place. You have to beat him. Cleric Beast seems like it could be an optional boss. And so does the Bloodstarved Beast. And in a way, they're both optional, but they're both not optional. You have to kill one of them. You can skip one and not touch the other and make it here that way. You have to kill one of them, the way the game is structured. I believe I'm going to die here in a novel way. I won't talk too much about this over that. I'm also trying to show off here that the amount of insight we have accrued now is actually altering the way the game plays in a way I made reference to before, in that those church wardens, the ones with the lamps, their lamps are now covered in eyeballs, since we have over 20 or 15 insight.
Perfect timing. I must warn you not to go near the tomb below Erden Chapel in the Cathedral Ward. Henrik, an old hunter, has gone mad, and he's my mark. Don't go near the tomb below Erden Chapel in the... I have business there first.
Okay, I won't go. Wink. But yeah, with these church wardens, if you've been saving up your insight like I have, you'll start to notice that some of their weapons will appear different. The guys with the lamps have eyes, and they can also cast spells at you now. Arcane energies. Stuff that you couldn't see before with the naked eye. But with all this insight, all these madman's knowledges... we're seeing the world for what it truly is. But is that a good thing? Who knows? Some of the other ones we're gonna see, there's a guy with a scythe, too, who, when you have more than, like, 20 insight or whatever it is, his scythe glows with a sort of ghostly, arcane, light blue aura. Yes, as I was saying, the Cleric Beast and the Bloodstarved Beast, only one of them, your choice, is required to advance to this part of Cathedral Ward, because they both open up a different path. Killing the Bloodstarved Beast opens up the elevator in the chapel that leads you to the Healing Church Workshop, which leads you to the tower you fall down to get to the elevator we just took, which allows you to get around this side in a roundabout way. And killing the Cleric Beast gets you access to the Hunter Chief Emblem if you want to just grind for 10,000 Blood Echoes to buy that. You can just open the gate down there in the plaza without having to do that whole roundabout thing at all. So it's an interesting wrinkle into, like, this game's critical path. And I think it's the only time it really does that. A lot of all the other optional bosses are, like, 100% optional. Of course, you know, they give you good rewards, some of them, so you definitely don't want to skip all of them. But... it's interesting, you know, to answer the question of, like, you know, which bosses are required to beat Bloodborne. It's like, well, there kind of isn't one answer, because they give you this choice here. Anyway, now that we've got our mojo back, it's me trying to remember if there's anything else up here. Lots of stuff to loot around this plaza. Mainly madman's knowledges. A lot of madmen around here. Damn, I'm good. Whatever seems like an attack should hit me, but it doesn't because I kind of dodge through it. That's because a lot of Soulsborne type stuff relies upon invincibility frames while dodging. So, you know, dodging away from enemies is one thing, so you have time to heal, but dodging through enemy attacks, sort of toward enemies, is sort of the better strategy a lot of the time if you want to remain on, you know, someone and get more hits in. Especially in this game where they're really pushing you to stay on the bad guys. To hit them a lot. I didn't check the description for those shining coins, but those are a sort of a Hansel and Gretel breadcrumb sort of thing. You can, they don't really do anything, but you can drop them on the path and they'll just shine where you place them as a way of preventing yourself from getting lost. I don't really use them much, but in this run later on, I do end up using them for a confusing area.
The password.
Guy asking for a password. Alfred mentioned how only the highest clerics in the Healing Church know the password to the gate to Bergenworth. So that must be where that leads. But as long as we don't know the password, we can't go, so we'll have to keep investigating over here. Anyway, here's that big old gate. You can either open it with the Hunter Chief emblem or just come around here and pull it open like that. Hooray! So now it all connects up. Down that way is where we got the monocular and that room with all the pots that we rolled around in, and of course off to the left is Odin Chapel. More guys with the flame sprayer. A popular item here in Yarnum. Heck, I didn't even have time to react. You merciless, Katie. Ah, but you gotta be here. Poison knives are neat. They're just an upgrade to the throwing knife that you can use to poison people, if you so wish.
You're not from around here, are you? Well, an outsider who's come to join the hunt? What a pathetic idea. You what? What, you think I'm a beast? Well, maybe I think you're a beast. And step away from my castle. Oh, enough of you. What, you think this is funny? Well, I certainly don't, so be gone with you. I'll have nothing to do with your beast stunts. Oh, enough with you already.
Okay. See if anyone here wants to talk.
Oh my, what a queer scent. But I'll take it over the stench of blood and beasts any day. What is it then? I'm off during hunts, and besides, this is no place for ladies. Wouldn't want to drag you down too.
Well, what if I'm a lesbian?
Oh, thank goodness. You're a hunter, aren't you, dear? Might you know of a safe place? The night is long and I've very little of the incense left. Please, there must be some nice place to run off to. Oh, thank you, dear. Perhaps I'll see you there.
What's this two-bit nonsense you're peddling? I heard you told that wench about some shelter. Well,
Word travels fast in this neighborhood.
Why? Well, her sort's probably just fixing to feed some of your coin. All right. What crafty lies does the outsider have today? You think I'm an easy mark? Yeah? Well, give me your best shot. Yeah, sorry. Too sharp for that bollocks. I know a superstition when I hear one. Outsiders. Even their lies are predictable.
So those two, the woman in there, her name is Ariana, the woman of the night, so to speak. You know, the first time you talk to her, she does that whole spiel about like, oh, I'm off, and besides, you're a lady, if you're a woman. But if you've killed 3 bosses at this point, she will trust you enough to ask you if you know of a safe place, and at that point you can send her to the chapel or the clinic. We're gonna send her to the chapel. That other guy across the street, since he's such an asshole, he will actually go to the opposite place of where you tell him to go. So if you want him to go to the chapel, you gotta tell him to go to the clinic, because he doesn't trust you.
Praise you. Praise the old damn church. And best of luck hunting. Best luck of all.
What do you have to say?
We've the deepest gratitude for the church and all they do for us. Deepest, widest gratitude, yes. Yes.
Seems like the people down here are used to living in, fear, you might say, of the church and their hunters. It is a pretty scary night in Yarnum. Of course, this might just be an outlier. It might be a pleasant place to spend the evening on nights when there isn't a hunt going on. But you know, these games are about humanity clinging to life even in the most broken and derelict of worlds. There's something beautiful about that. These games are about hope for the hopeless. That's why so many trans people like these games. Literally, I'm not kidding. Most trans people I know on the internet, at least like Souls games. Oftentimes love them. Bloodborne itself, there's a joke I saw once that Bloodborne itself is a trans narrative because it's a game where everyone in England wants to kill you. Ba-doom-tsh. The Watchman of Byrgenwerth guards the gate with a password. A sacred adage of the Grand Cathedral. Just as I thought. That was the gate to Byrgenwerth. And it looks like we'll need to head to the Grand Cathedral if we want to find out what the password is. Ugh, excuse me. And would you look at that? We've come full circle. Now, what do you bet the Grand Cathedral is all the way up these steps? Not sure what they meant by infected one. Maybe those guys up there with the freaky wooden weapons with the weird arcane auras surrounding them, which again you can only see if you have like more than 20 or so insight. There's the ladder. There's a very helpful item up here for an upcoming boss. Numbing Mist. Grow to create a mist cloud that numbs a hunter's life essence and prevents restoration of HP. Yeah, so this is a useful item for fighting NPC hunters or PC hunters that you're fighting in the PvP online. You know, you just throw it like a Molotov cocktail or what have you, and it prevents them from using their blood vials for like, 30 seconds or so. I think that's so cute that you can collect little articles of clothing to put on the messengers. And we will be giving our messengers little hats. Don't you worry, Kate. But all in all, this was a little successful run around Cathedral Ward, so... I'm gonna go claim our well-earned prize of... Jesus, how many level ups?
Farewell, good handmaid.
Also went off-screen, went back to farm some Blood Echoes, so I could buy and show off these two weapons. This is Ludwig's Holy Blade. As you can see, it's a regular-sized sword that you can put it in its sheath to make into a greatsword. This weapon kind of has a reputation in this game for being sort of a crutch for players who are more used to, like, your typical strength builds in Dark Souls. With the whole, two-handed sword, shield on your back sort of thing. I don't really tend to use it because I much prefer this game's playstyle. And then this is the Kirk Hammer. Again, in its untricked form, it's just a sword, but then you put it in the sheath, and the sheath is a big-ass fucking hammer that you wreck shop with. It rules. I find it so much more enjoyable to use than the Holy Blade. Just conceptually, and also just like, swinging it around and crushing stuff. We'll be using that a little bit at some point. Anyway, well, Eileen told us not to do something, so obviously it's the first thing we're gonna go do. You can glean this through item descriptions, but Henrik, the hunter she mentioned who has gone mad, and now lies, or now waits in the Tomb of Odin, he was a friend of Father Gascoigne. And so, perhaps the fact that the erstwhile father is deceased has exacerbated Henrik's madness? Who knows? Who's to say? What we do know is... Ow! Jesus, fuck! Yeah, there he is. Let's get him. Katie, I said let's get him, not let's get killed by him. Oh, here comes Eileen now. Alright. You get him, I'll be right back. Knowing what's about to happen, I am extremely uncomfortable sitting here watching this, honestly. This is not my finest moment. I am quite embarrassed about what happened here in this second go-around. So, how this is supposed to go is Henrik is really hard, but Eileen is here to take the pressure off you, but you have to do your part and take the pressure off her. But there's... there's friendly fire, you can hurt her, and I think I might have, and so I think I softened her up to get finished off by him, and she died. So, I am gonna have to go at this solo. But, like, realistically, come on, it's one guy. How hard could it be? Okay, yeah, fuck this. Yeah, fuck off, Henrik. I'll be back. Man, I feel so bad about getting Eileen killed. Well, this is when I realized, but boy, I really should have backed up my save to the cloud so that I could, you know, if she got killed, which she did, I could have just, you know, re-downloaded my cloud save and tried the fight again, keeping her alive this time. Unfortunately, I was too dumb to do that because I was just like, it's fine, whatever. It's fine. So, we're gonna miss out on some questline stuff. There'll be links in the description to where you can watch all that stuff, so.
Don't take me, please. Oh, please, dear God.
Anyway, we actually picked up some Healing Church garb, so now we can assuage her fears.
By your garb, the Healing Church, you've come to save me. Oh, thank you, dear saint. I have no words to express my relief. You can take this, at least. It's sure to please an upstanding member of the church like you. Oh, thank you so much, dear God. Thank you so much. I was seized on the street by a hulking brute in the cathedral ward and locked up here. There were many others, but they've been taken away. And I've heard moans echoing in the distance ever since. So, the hunt is on tonight. Then the streets are perilous, and every door will be shut tight. Perhaps it isn't my place to ask, but do you know somewhere that might take me in? Oh, thank you so much. I'll set out as soon as I can. I pray for success on your hunt, kind hunter.
Alright, thanks. So, we have now completed our little collection of friends at the chapel. Let's talk to him, shall we?
Hunter, alive and well at that. Another one you sent made it here safe and sound. This place is a haven now for so many, thanks to you. I'm overjoyed, really, that you'd even give me the time of day. I don't suppose there's anybody out there worth saving anymore, but you did all you could. And so many owe you so much. Amazing, really. Not because you're a hunter, but because you're you. Makes me think, once dawn breaks, maybe I can just, you know, start over. Makes it easier to bear all of this, you see. You've made life easier. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, buddy.
Please, kind hunter, when the night of the hunt passes, suppose we could be friends? Maybe? Now, I know I hardly deserve it, but, well, I had to just ask, you know. Out of line, yes, perhaps so, but, well, give it a thought. If you wouldn't mind, of course.
I love him so much. He is my favorite character in this whole game. He's so nice.
Oh, hello, dear. You weren't lying. This is a safe place. Thank you. I am in your debt. I'd like to tender my thanks, but I can't imagine what to offer. All I can give is my blood. But would you even take a whore's blood? Oh, good. Come close, dear. Don't worry, I've done this before.
So, Ariana's blood, it restores your HP, but it also temporarily speeds up the rate at which your stamina recovers, which is pretty useful.
You.
Okay, Grandma's still mad at us.
Ah, you. The swindling off-comer. Did you really think that'd work? There's no fooling me. Now, off with you. You heard me. Go away. I can't stand the stench of your lying breath.
Okay.
Oh, brave hunter. You're alive. Thank you very much. The town is in disarray, but there are still people here. Together we await the help of the healing church. I cannot begin to express my gratitude to you. The only thing that I can offer is my own lowly blood.
People keep giving me their blood today. Unfortunately, you can only carry one vial of a lady's blood at a time. Another time, Adela. Good job, Kate.